everyone, I'm back, I'm Rob.
And Ash.
And we are back on the Second Company channel with another back rep. And it's actually nice to have you on the channel, mate.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you very much. With your lovely painted models, as we'll get to see in a moment. So, but yeah, we're back with Ash and his Agents of the Imperium. I'm about to say sisters now.
There's a lot of
sisters
in
there. So the mission you'll see on the screen now is a mission from the Beachhead mission book, which you're going to, aren't you?
I am indeed. Yeah.
So with this, we've gone with the UKTC, but I think they use TT Combat from what I can read on the paperwork and stuff like that. So yes, it is hidden supplies and search and destroy. So table quarters and basically you score on all the objectives throughout the middle. Really awesome to have a few weird and quirky. Well, you've bought a Corvus Black Star.
I have indeed, yeah.
Which is quite awesome and. Slight subtle changes from when we've played last, but we will go through your list. But suffice it to say, it's a really good list, and as well as this, when Ash goes to Beachhead, we will have a bit of a roundup and a chat to him about how he felt like you've done and how you felt like the weekend was, and to try and promote it all, because I haven't gone away yet. You will have gone away before me on stuff like this, so you can advise. But we're going to be doing more of these when we can. A few more points, and also you can earn for ITC. But not only that, it's fun going away and doing stuff like that, isn't it?
It is indeed, absolutely.
So we will come back in a moment, and we will talk through Ash's list. Righty ho. So we're over with your list, Ash. So talk us through.
Not a problem. So obviously Imperial Agents, we don't have an army rule. But you know, we just call it like that. We don't need one.
Exterminatus maybe.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Mortal wounds all round. So detachment is the Imperialis fleet, which in my command phase gives me a choice of eliminate at all costs or acquire at all costs. So eliminate. The Imperial Agents model, so that's everything apart from the Warglaves, gets +1 to hit. Or I can do acquire at all costs, so I pick an objective, and then all agent models, so again, not the Warglaves, gain +1 leadership, +1 OC, and a 5+ invul. So yeah, so get into the list itself.
Cool.
So, 2 assassins, the Calidus and the Eversaw. 2 Inquisitors. One will be leading a group of Inquisitorial henchmen, but they will both be in the Chimera, in the barbecue bus.
The barbecue bus.
There's also a Ministorum priest who will be leading a unit of sanctifiers.
Which is there, I believe.
Which is those ones there, yeah. Then we have the navigator, this one here, on his own, really handy for deep strike denial of 12 inches. Then we have the rogue trader entourage who will be leading and infiltrating with the breachers. Then we have Watch Captain Artemis, who will be running around on his own. After that, it's the Watchmaster himself leading a big blob of 10 veterans with all the Thunderhammers and all the shields.
God.
On top of that, we also have an Immolator, which will split the sisters into 5 and 5.
Lovely.
After that, we have the Subductors with their big shields. So they're the ones with the 4+ invul, with the 3 different variants of that particular kit.
The Judge Dredd guys.
Absolutely. And then we also have some Voidsmen at Arms.
Nice.
Who are basically just fancy guardsmen. And then finally, 2 Armored Wargraves. One who just suspiciously looks like Inquisitor Kazimov.
Yes, like we played last time, and he didn't bleeding well die. Anyway.
And of course, Black Star.
Corvus Black Star. Look at that. See, it's always nice. I think they've done an injustice with flyers this edition, to be honest with you. And comment down below if you do believe so, because I think there's a few of us that I think they've really done them an injustice. But just going to highlight, if we come closer, look at some of this artwork here, especially with this white work going on down here. And Ash, you are also on Instagram, aren't you?
I am indeed. Nurgle_Archon.
Because you also have some beautiful, beautiful Nurgle Drukari, which I'm currently
Thank you.
borrowing. I've not actually done anything with them, but because I've not had time. But all of this, so Nurgle _ Archon on Instagram. So what we'll do is we will poodle around the table. So yes, so we've gone over everything else. Just while I'm poodling around, good strat for yourself for your list.
So ones to look out for are the 4+ invul to a character-led unit, which after that particular opposition unit has shot, I then have a 6 interactive move, which is a good tasty one. For example, to re-embark, get behind a wall. So there's some good tactic play there. Other ones include acquisition. So that one's enemies in range of an objective. I can get sustained hits, lance, and ignores cover, which is quite nice. I've got another one for fallback, advance, and shoots. There's one that's quite random, which is I can set up from reserves in my opponent's deployment zone in turn 2, which is unlikely to come up, but you never do know. And then the last one probably worth mentioning is that sort of an anti-precision on a 2-up, where if the Votann want to pick out a particular member of my characters, I can deny that on a 2+.
They do have precision. And they're also dev wounds.
Fantastic. And I'm definitely going to roll a 1 because it's me. So, we'll see.
Bless you. So this is my list. I'm back, everyone, with the Votann. From the previous list, this has changed ever so slightly. So this is going into the list that we will be running for the teams event that Martin at Bugle Bat Reps is running in about a couple of weeks' time. So everything on the table, as you can see, anything on top of transports is actually within that transport, that unit. So we'll start from right to left. So we've got the Warriors again, just on their own, so they can sticky. We've got we've got 2 Capricus, both with 2 blocks of 10 of the Jaegers in them, sorry. So then they're splitting them up from 2 big 10s to 4 groups of 5. 3 Sagittars, so 1, 2, and there's that 1, 3 over there. They're all now wielding axe wielding berserks, not one with hammers like they have been in previous lists. Everything else is more or less the same from previously, but I will go through it all. So 2 units of 3 Hernkin Pioneers. I've got a Capricus Defender. This one's a new one that's been added since Christmas. This basically has exactly the same profile as a Capricus. It can scout and move. However, if it shoots at any of your units, it has move, shoot, move. And it has a D, and you have to roll a D6 on how far it can move. So it's not quite like gargoyles, but it's the same thing, but I have to roll a D6 for it. So that's that. And then obviously the Ironkin Steeljacks, they are back with the Memnir. I think this unit is absolutely incredible, because it just literally does so well. Played a game last night, and it took a couple of shooting. However, it took down an Avatar of Cain, mostly with dev wounds, so that was quite impressive. So really, for me, these are my go-to. These are my MVP at the moment. Half guard to the big Terminators are going to be in the Hackathon to get out. There's nothing else I've missed. I'm playing Need Guard Oathband, so it's basically my detachment rule is whenever I kill something, I get a yield point. So not only am I getting yield points now for sitting on objectives and how many I control, and that includes my deployment and no mans, I believe. So that just increases that, so it just gets me to higher yield points and the -1 to wound and hitting +1 to wound when I'm on an objective that much quicker, especially with the Memnir and his rule, as he gives, I can either spend one or keep one at the beginning of the command of my command phase. So it's kind of like a CP it's not a CP regen, but it helps me use things, gets me to where I want a lot quicker. So Need Guard really is actually quite a utilitarian detachment. Really, it's kind of like the does everything kind of detachment. So for me though, I quite like the reactive shooting, reactive reprisal. That's 2 CP. Those quite CP heavy. But also there is Ancestral Sentence, which is the spend a CP and spend 3 yield points, and I can get sustained hits 2. If I don't spend the yield points, I just get sustained hits 1. But on something like the Steeljacks, for example, that's already 36 shots. So you're going to... It can increase it, or it can make up the lost wounds. Either which way. So that is everything. So what we'll do is... we will come back after deployment. Right, back after deployment. And you've done some redeploys as well, but what we'll do is we'll go around and you can talk me through your deployment.
Absolutely. So I have the enhancement which allows me to give 3 infantry units that aren't Grey Knight Terminators infiltrate.
Right.
So with that, I did a few units and also made use of the Rogue Trader redeploy. So originally what I did was I went all the way along here.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
In the classic bone shape to stop any more infiltrating. And then I redeployed them just behind this wall to safety because that unit will give up Cold Horde and that's not what you want first turn.
No.
In there also is the Eversaw Assassin who can awesomely scout 9. Just there.
Just there. Yeah. He's just there.
Yeah, so he can scout 9 and then do his full crazy frenzy 15-inch move if he fancies it. We've got an Armature Wargrave just here. Yeah. Who's eyeing up those units over there. Yeah. We have the barbecue bus here, ready and waiting.
Ba-ba.
As you would expect, the Calidus is nice and safe, and we have the Navigator blocking out 12-inch deep strikes and setups on the home objective.
Cool.
Coming round, we have the Sisters who aren't in the Immolator. These ones will just sticky my home objective turn 1, so that's all dandy. We've got the Seductors here, ready to make a nuisance of themselves. My second unit that I infiltrated was Artemis, so just slightly further forward.
Literally just down there in the background with his lovely red cape.
Then we've got Kazmarov, the other Armiger. He's just here ready with the Immolator, the Sanctifiers, and over that I have left infiltrating that's the third unit with the enhancement, is the Voidsman at Arms.
Okay. That's actually quite nice. Smashing.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's actually quite nicely talked through. We're not like the Dark Angels. We give away not too many secrets anyway, but you know. So coming over my side, it's kind of like a mirror image, really, isn't it? How we've set up. So I've popped the Jaegers over here to try and secure at least this avenue out, so I can try and move, because as you can see here, I've got the Sagittar, the Defender, which has move, shoot, move when I shoot at something, and a Capricus there. Both of these 2 units can scout. Sadly, the Sagittar has lost its scout. We are now a few months, so if they lost, so Sagittar's lost their scout in the Codex release. However, I don't mind giving it to these 2, and everything has just kind of been castled up around here, so Jaegers to stop any kind of ingress through, and having this Thunderkin this side. Basically there's a lot to deal with over here. Sagittar there, Warriors strung out, so from here and behind there, so they're maintaining coherency. Bikes at the back so we're practicing Deep Strike Denial, even though both of us doesn't have Deep Strike, but it's always good to do though, isn't it, for practice for other things. So more bikes over there, Capricus, carrier and another Sagittar there, just to try and push around. And Hecaton with the E-Champ and Hearthguard in there. So we are challenging nicely. So what we'll do with all of this, we shall roll off to see who goes first. Best of luck to us both.
Okay, sir. Oh, me.
Looks like you'll go first, so it will be Imperial Agents coming next. Top of turn 1 for Agents of the Imperium, we have Bring It Down and Sabotage. Happy with those.
Bring It Down is obviously doesn't favour us for agents. We don't have a lot of Bring It Down potential units, but it's fine. It's a CP. We love CP.
Yes, we do.
But Sabotage is a nice one to get over and done with turn 1. So happy with that one. And in terms of other command phase shenanigans,
yes,
I have chosen this little unit over here. Which I forget their name, apologies.
They're the Jaegers.
Jaegers, I thought so. So I'll get +1 to hit with any Imperial Agents units for the rest of the turn.
So that will be them. So it's the eliminate at all costs. So the agents are +1 to hit versus that unit, which is absolutely fine. I didn't do my scout moves because there would be no real reason to do so. And also, if you come this way, they'll all be in cover anyway, so. What we'll do then is, we're going to do movement anyway, so we'll combine the scout move into this, and we will come back after move and shooting. So, what happened, Ash?
So, not a lot. So, in terms of movement, we moved in terms of scouts first, we scouted the Eversort over to here, where he was still 9 inches away from the Jaegers. And then we used his regular 9-inch move to go over there and stay on the objective.
However, they still would have got a 9-inch because you came within, but to be honest with you, they were more or less mullered anyway. So that's fine. Please continue.
Omega moved up. Yeah. To put toe on there.
And he's
vaporised too. He went on to vaporise 2 with Melters. Sanctifier's Scout and then advanced onto this objective here.
Over there.
Yeah, and then that was it for my movement phase and my shooting phase.
Okay. Charging phase. Do you want to do the because you were saying just now you're going to charge that?
Yep, Omega into the Jaegers. 7.
On a 7. So what we'll do is we'll come back after the fighting phase. Following the very short fight phase, and excuse the pun with dwarves around, so effectively the armigers come along and just gone, I don't like dwarves, and stomped and chomped and chopped all over them. Now they're now gone. As for points, Sabotage is ongoing, isn't it?
It is indeed.
What are you doing with Bring It Down?
I'm going to get rid of that for CP.
Even though you've got vehicles staring you in the face.
I feel like my vehicle will die in a second. That can take them down. So I'm going to not play around and I'm going to bin it for a
sensible CP. Sensible choice. Okay. So what we'll do is we will go into Votann turn 1 next. Okay, bottom of turn 1. So turn 1 for the Votann, we have engage on all fronts and Bring It Down. Relatively happy with that because we do have an armature there. And also, bikes came up at the end of the previous turn. So I do have a way of getting at least some points on engage. So what we'll do, so we've gone up to 3 guild points because the Memnir strategist is on the objective. And as you can see, there are a few little... So obviously that's covered by cover, but you do have here with the Hecaton, can see through there.
Yeah.
And then there's obviously that way there that bikes or something can come up and through. So there are options. So we'll do move and shoot and come back in the charge phase. Back after shooting Votann turn 1, there is 1 less armature. And I have to say, so it took a lot of shooting from the Thunder. So Thunderkin moved up, Sagittar, Defender, and Carrier all came out. They were all in a line, but because of the defender's rules, it can shoot and then move. But because it moved in a line, it had to then pivot. So otherwise, it would have got onto it would have been able to get onto the objective. And if it would have got a 6, that would have just claimed me that objective. As the armiger blew up, it took the Eversaw down to... Eversaw?
Yeah.
Yeah, Eversaw down to 1 wound. And then obviously going across everywhere else, we've come over to this side. So we've plinked off a Voidsman.
Yeah, 1 Voidsman, and then you shot the Hecaton.
Hecaton over here at that unit.
Yeah, and I spent the CP for Displacer Field, so I gave them a 4-up and a 6-inch move, effectively saved them.
Yeah, because obviously they would have had...
line of sight. Yeah,
yeah, because you would have had a line of sight from this Sagittar, if you can see it, right across there, which is rather blurry. But where that one is there, you would have had a nice line of sight all the way through. Yeah. So that saved them for now. However, it puts Ash nicely to score, but we will come back in a minute in the command phase for Agents turn 2. So, we come to turn 2 for the Agents. We have swapped out our cards, haven't we? You
Absolutely.
did have behind
enemy lines, yeah, but we spent a CP to because that's never going to happen this early in the game. So I swapped it for display of might.
Because there's quite a lot of space that I've covered in my backfield.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Other things I've done in my command phase is I spent the CP to heal to auto pass battle shock for the Eversaw, so he can score me some primary.
Yeah.
In terms of primary, I obviously hold 2 objectives in No Man's Land to 0, so I get the full shebang, which is nice. Might be the last of my points. I healed the Sanctifiers using their medic equivalent, and I got 3 back, which is awesome.
Yes.
So you never know, they might survive another turn. And then the last thing I did was obviously my detachment rule. There's nothing really I'm going after in terms of killing this round, so in terms of that, it's quite a lot of action secondaries. So I've got extra OC leadership and a save here, just to make the Eversaw OC2 to make Rob's life slightly more difficult.
Yeah, so that little delightful being down there that's still alive on 1 wound. Don't worry, little one. It'll all be over soon. Anyway, so we will come back after movement and shooting. Okie dokie, so moving and shooting. Ash, talk me through it.
Okie dokie, so with Display of Might and Cleanse and Mind, most important thing was to get 6 units out to beat your 5.
Mm-hmm.
So to do that, we shunted over the Breaches and then dropped down the Calendar system here.
Which is literally the other side.
Yeah, and then we put Artemis came out here.
Onto the centre.
Yeah, we advanced the Voidsman to make, well, at the time it was meant to be a blocking thing. We then learned, of course, about this unit here having fly. But,
which is now gone, yeah.
We live and learn. And then I brought out the Sanctifiers this way.
Yeah, so they're literally there.
Yeah. So then we shot everything we can. We eventually did it. So pistols for the win. And we beat that unit there. And then 1 of the Jaegers died on the disembark.
Yeah, that's right.
It didn't explode, so sad times. And that was it. In terms of cleanse, of course, I had Artemis cleanse in the middle here. And then the Eversaw at the back, who will very proudly die in the next turn, but he has scored me a few points, so
yeah, so it'll all be over soon, little one. Won't be long.
Okay. Yes, into the charge phase.
Into the charge phase. So, what are you wishing to do, charging wise? Because I think you said something about charging over here, and you do have a CP to re-roll.
Yeah, I do, but then I'm in 2 minds about it because it takes me off the objective.
Precisely.
Yeah. I'm going to leave it for now because I've got I'm on the objective currently. So yeah.
Not what I expected you to do.
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, I shouldn't have advanced these guys and then dealt with that. But we live and learn.
It's if you didn't, that would have swung around, because it's very much a case of if you don't do anything with it, it will come. Yeah. It will come towards you like any other unit in 40k, or board games on a whole, really.
Yeah.
So very interesting turn of events. I thought you were going to charge, but actually, it's more sensible to try and hold it and score points, try and deny me any kind of shenanigans and stuff like that. So it'll be bottom of the turn. Thank you very much, mate. We will come back. Bottom of the turn, Votann, turn 2 next. Okie dokie, folks. We forgot to do the beginning of the command phase. So we'll do that and the movement together. So we got... I've taken away Cull the Horde. Oh, that was a bit close. Cull the Horde, but I took that away and got Tempting Target and Recover Assets. Got no primary at the moment because Ash quite well placed. Still had the Eversaw, so that denied me. And also he had the +1 OC leadership jobby, which kept it contested. But that was after Overwatch. So at that point in time, he had scored it. So there's nothing on primary for me at this stage. But what I've done, everything else-wise, is I've basically moved everything from this cord that was over here. So the carrier disembarked the Jaegers onto the objective to try and hold it. The Sagittar, and then obviously the Capricus carrier moved around to get a bead on the Eversaw, which hopefully goes. That's the plan, but I do have a backup. Then we have Sagittar and the Capricus defender here to try and take some shots over yonder at that unit. And then obviously the Berserks have got out with the axes here. Thunderkin have gone over here just to try and block out any kind of... pop that camera on, put that light on as well. So they're just being there just to prevent any kind of charge in to come this side of the wall. And also bikes came on right at the end to do, because I've got recover assets, so they'll recover from this side. Jaegers this side have stayed there. Sagittar has stayed there for the moment. Warriors have just stayed where they are. Heckerton has stayed where he is quite nicely because he has a nice bead of shooting onto that unit over there, and it disembarked the half guard, which potentially can start moving forwards and sweeping things off of the objectives. Berserk's got out from that Sagittar, and now obviously Jaegers are there, so there's plenty of shooting and potential for grenades and whatnot to go that way. So that's quite good because you've got the Sanctifiers and the Voidsman at Arms that side. With Attempting Target, Ash has put on Artemis's objective. So what I'm going to do for all of you at home is put that there. That is to signal my Tempting Target. Really starting to try and establish a bit of a base now. Cull the Horde wasn't going to be doable because of obviously Ash is quite nicely hidden there and stuff like that. So what we'll do is we will come back after shooting and we'll see if we should charge or not. So see you in the charge phase. Righty ho, back after shooting. We've done a few little bits and bobs. So Carrier has finally got rid of that pesky Eversaw.
Boo.
Boo. Yes. It wasn't long. We did say it wasn't long. So yeah, that's over there. And then these two took pot shots at that unit over there.
Yep.
And taken away how many?
3.
Taken away 3. So there's 10 left.
11 left.
11 left.
Yes.
Cool, because that would be...
Oh, no, sorry, 10 left. 1 died earlier. Yeah, 10 left.
Cool, 10 left. Cool, that's fine. So they're still there. Artemis has had a bit of a lie down.
Yes. Oh, we haven't rolled to see if he'll get up.
Trying to roll to see if he gets up live on camera.
Yes!
Oh, and he gets back up. That's quite crucial. That's quite crucial. However, if he dies again, he dies for good. Full wounds?
Half.
Half. So he's on what? 2?
2.
Right. Okay. Not a problem. And then over here we did quite a bit of shooting from the Hearthguard didn't get to shoot actually. So the Heckerton, the Jaegers doing a grenade and shooting with pistols, and
A super grenade. All 6
all
mortars.
6. Yeah, it was what we call as Rory. We call it a Rory grenade. All 6, and basically took out. So we're taking out the Voidsman, and it is literally shot down, and we're just literally down to the clergyman.
Just the priest, yeah.
Just the clergyman, the man of the cloth.
Who's angry now.
Well, you got angry dwarves the other side. Come at me, bruh. So, so we've determined this way that it's like a 12-inch charge. So I will give it a go and try.
You got to believe.
I've got to believe. And we're going to try for a charge over here. So what we'll do is this. So we'll do this live on camera, the charges. So it will be the... Actually, that's an 11-inch charge, because the champion gives them 1 plus 1 to charge.
Okay, dream's alive.
Dream is alive. We need an 11. Yes! Yes!
Okay.
Yes! On a 12, you said believe, dear brother. We believed. And now... We didn't expect that, to be honest with you, viewers. That was just amazing. And then we have a 10-inch charge over here. Come on. No, we do not.
Yeah, that's good.
I used it all on that great big bomb over there. So, we will come back after the fight first. Right then, folks. So that was quite a turn of events. So the man of the cloth is gone. However, there is a story. Wait one moment, viewer. So, first off, you have to roll for mortals on the charge. Those of you who don't know, the champion does mortals on the charge, as well as +1 to the charge. On D6, on a 6, it's D3 plus 3. We rolled a 1. The priest died of mortal wounds alone. So basically, we didn't even have to swing anything. We just ran in, knocked him over, and killed him. So that's quite a success, if I'm truly honest. So we will score, we will basically recover assets is still ongoing. Attempting target we will use for a CP, so I'll do that now. So that goes up to 1. That goes, and we've still got recover assets. So we will come back shortly with agents. Turn 3?
Yeah.
Turn 3 next. Back in turn 3 for the agents. So we've got extend battle lines and area denial quite nicely. Artemis is quite nicely set to do that. However, if we look over there, you can see a glimpse of the steel, the Ironkin Steeljacks, which they can overwatch for free. So interesting to see what happens. You've brought back another person,
Yeah, Rogue Traders have brought back another Breacher. I brought one on the shield just to give me that 1 cheeky 4+ in the bowl, which might be helpful. And yeah, and I've put him slightly further forward, but obviously still within 2 inches of everyone else, just to make that move a little bit easier.
Yeah, of course. So that plays that out quite nicely. So what we will do movement and shooting and come back in the charge phase. Hang on, before we do charges.
Oh, yeah.
We need to talk through what you've moved, what
yes,
you've done.
Yes,
so you talk me through it.
We can edit that out in post. Right, so in terms of moving, we moved these bad boys closer. They then threw a grenade, and then they split fire. So the demolition charge and the melter going into that vehicle at the back, doing a little bit of pot damage, nothing too scary.
Nope.
They then unleashed everything else. I did my free strap because of the enhancement to give them sustained and ignores cover, and then whittled that unit down just down to 1. And then Corvus Blackstar whizzed over, and then I unleashed fire into the Jaegers and the angry dudes, and then there's 1 inch of itch. So,
and did you kill any of the units?
No, I did not. But it's fine. It's fine. Emperor protects, we believe. It's fine. They're going to fail their battle shock in a minute. Right, over here, the barbecue bus. Barbecued some Terminator-looking dudes.
The Thunderkin with the heavy SP, which is sacrificial,
which
lures you in.
I'm so happy that killed something. That's awesome. So for those of you who don't know, it's got 2 Inquisitors in there, so that straight away got 4d6 Dev Wound Flamer. Awesome. And over here, it took a lot, but we're down to 1 guy.
Down to 1 guy in the champion.
It took 5 Sisters, Eliminator, Callous Assassin, and Casimir Offstrike and Armiger. To whittle it down.
So 400 points, and you still haven't killed a 200 odd point unit?
Is the problems with that's the problem with agents though, people at home. It's just, you know, we're playing on hard mode. So GW, if you're listening, I would like just a universal +1 to wound or something.
No. GW, you're doing doing fine where you are.
But it's fine. Agents is fun.
I just want him dead. I just want him dead.
So in terms of charging, we're going to do Kazmarov in, Sisters in, and obviously if I need to, I can maybe do the Calidus, and over here we're going to charge in there.
Right. Do the rolls for me.
Okay.
So what are we doing first?
We'll start here. 6.
6, so they're in there. That's fine.
Kazmarov needs a 6.
He doesn't. He just needs a 2. Cool.
8. So Kazmarov is in, and then the Sisters.
1's
5. They should be 5. Cool. Okay. So hopefully that will kill something.
Bring them closer so then I can blast them.
See you shortly.
Alright, we'll come back after the 5 phase. Righty-ho, so after the combat, over here the breachers, whoever they are, took out the defender.
With just a chain fist?
With just a chain fist, yes, but basically he's lasted till turn 3, so I'm happy. Karamazov, being a dumbass, killed a unit, then can't allow them to pile into the champion. So Karamazov is a dumbass, being on an objective, and now I've got him.
Kazmarov thought more than one would go through, if I'm honest. He thought at least 2. The 2 would go through from the 5.
He's a dumbass, so he's going to die very painfully. So what we are going to do, folks, is I will toddle on now straight into Votann turn 3, just to kind of keep things going. So sabotage and overwhelming force, which is actually
perfect.
Absolutely perfect. So what we'll do moving and shooting like usual, and we'll come back in the charge phase. So that coming next. Okie dokie. After the movement and shooting, effectively the bikes and everything swarm this objective to try and get +1 to hit and things. And these bikes came over here. As you can see over here, you've just got the rogue trader and his entourage left, because we shot with the defender.
Yeah, then I did the 4-up armor set, 4-up invul and then reactive move, which put behind the wall, but it wasn't quite enough to get away from all your firepower, so you just sort of finished them off. Yeah.
So I went over here and shot that way. Either which way, it's helping me learn about sequencing, and that is something I might cover actually in another video, because I think sequencing is actually quite important.
Absolutely.
Going forwards this year. So that's happened over there. I've left the Corvus Black Star well alone, because I don't want 10 Marines over my way. And then the Berserks over here have moved over from this Sagittar that was back here. So Sagittar moved up. These have all moved up. The Berserks are back here, which were there kind of as a deterrent. However, because of how much shooting we did, so we were able to clear the Subductors.
The Subductors in the middle, absolutely, yeah. Subductors are all gone across the middle. And then obviously the Sisters of Battle, you also wiped pretty easily here. Yeah. And then of course your vendetta against Kazmarov. He's currently down to 2, but there is a rather tasty looking friend behind the wall.
With a great big hammer as well.
Yeah.
So basically everything just cornered around here now. So what we'll do is I've said about charges. So effectively, Champion's going to go through... Whoop, finger over the lens. So Champion over here is going to charge that way. So Jaeger, Berserk, and the bikes are going to go that way towards the entourage. And that's what we're going to do first. So we'll get some dice in a minute, whilst I still keep the camera looking somewhere where it needs to. So this is for the Berserk first. On an 8, I don't think it gets it. You just measure it for me. I think I needed it on 11.
There's a 7 and an 8, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm out with the Berserk, that's fine. We'll do the Jaeger. Oh, on 2, so that he's going to stay where he is. So bikes are going to go over that way. That's fine.
Yeah.
Where was that then? 12. So I'm going to move them in now live on camera. So 1, 2. Whoops, Daisy. I'm moving them further than I should. And then that's going to tag there. So that's that nicely done on a 12. Where was that just now? And then we'll go over to this charge with the through the wall, and it's what? A 2?
It's unfailable, yeah.
On a 3, he's through. Now. Poke him through. Now, here's the thing. Mortal wound. Does he do any mortal wounds?
Is that normally or just when he's leading?
No, that's normally.
Ooh,
That's
tasty.
his.
Love
that's
it.
his. 5. So that's a D3. For 3.
He's done. Does he go bang? He does not.
Oh.
Kazamarov is down. You've avenged from your last game with him.
So that is actually quite nice. Just actually as a point in passing, just what's the distance between that and the immolator?
Yeah, let's have a look.
If it's over 3.
Yeah, it's 4.4.
4 point something, so
Yeah.
I can't consolidate. That's fine. However, so what we'll do is we'll actually do this live on camera. We'll do these attacks. So 2, 2, and I need another 2. So these are all attacks into the entourage. So these attacks are hitting on 4s, which isn't great. So we've got just the 2.
Road Trader is a toughness 3.
Plasma blades are strength 4.
Ooh, 3.
2 at -2, and I've dropped a dice.
Goes into my invul, which is 4 ups.
Thank you very much.
Say both.
Save both. So nice and swift. Nice and swift doing that one. Thought we'd do that on live on camera, do a bit of a change. So at the end of the turn, I would score full for overwhelming force. Sabotage is still ongoing, but I reckon I will still score that because there's berserks in front of those Jaegers. So yes, so we will come back at the end, come back at the command phase of turn 4 for the agents. Righty ho, folks. So turn 4 for the agents. We've got engage on all fronts and overwhelming force. I have my own thoughts on it. How do you feel with the cards?
It could be easier, but it is scoreable.
Right.
Which yeah. So in terms of rest of command phase stuff, nothing is below half because everything else is dead. So no, there's no battle shots required, which is nice. So I still have my eliminate all costs and I still have my acquire all costs. I won't be bothering with the acquire, but I will do eliminate. And I'm going to put it on...
Champion?
No.
Ooh.
I'm going to put it on that vehicle.
Nice.
And then, yeah, and we'll see what happens.
Right, so we'll go into agents, movement and shooting and come back if they wish to do anything else. Right, so we'll go over movement and shooting first.
Yeah.
So over here, we're back after movement and shooting. So the entourage has fallen back from the bikes.
Yep.
The Deathwatch veterans have dropped out of the Corvus Blackstar and has moved over there. Has limited, and basically they're going to charge into those 3 units or 2, whatever Ash decides. Took out 3 Jaegers and I've forgotten how many warriors. I think there's at least 4 warriors he's taken out. So there's 5 because there's only 5 left now. And the Berserks were rubbish at saving, so they're down to 2.
And then the Immolator shot the vehicle.
Basically, yeah, just eliminated the vehicle as you wanted and go from there. So
and
charges.
Took out the
Champion.
avenged Kazamarov.
Okay, so what charges we're doing?
Coloured us into the Jaegers.
What do we need?
I think it's a 4. Yeah, it's a 4. Yeah, she's in.
Well,
And then the Death Watch into the bikers, and then the big vehicle in the middle.
okay. Are you going to be able to be an inch away from that defender on the corner?
Yeah, that's the plan, yeah. With a 6, I should be able to.
Cool. Any others?
That is it, sir.
Right. We will be back after they muller everything in after the end. So, mopping up after all the fighting, it was pretty much academic from my part, really. So, Calidus absolutely annihilated the Jaegers, but it brings her forward.
It does.
The 10 ton of Death Watch with their 10 million weapons because they're the Imperium and they think they're the best. They just took everything. And bikes are there, so we will go into the command phase of turn 4 for Votann next. Turn 4 for the Votann. It is, so looking at this, we've got Assassination, Storm a Hostile Objective. It's not looking too bad, to be genuine, apart from not being able to have primary most of the time. Bikes will come up, which they will come down in a minute, but basically we've done half the movement already. But what we'll do is I will do movement and shooting and then come back in the charge phase if there is. Okie dokie folks, so after shooting, didn't do enough to the assassin, so the assassin's still there. The immolator's gone. The Chimera is now down to 6 wounds there, I can see.
And then it was the Sister Battle you wiped
Sisters
as well.
of Battle as well that were killed by the bikes. So essentially, really, it is now down to a charge, which is going to be with the Berserks over here into the... Berserks with the axes over here into the Calidus, thank you. These Berserks are going to try and go and do what they can into the Chimera. And I might try and see if other things can charge in, like the bikes. I don't know whether
They're 9 away.
Bikes are 9 away, so that can help over there. I might send them that way.
Road Traders you can get for Assassinate still.
So what I might do is I might do this lone berserk. I don't know how far off I am. So we shall have a look. So 6. We're looking at potentially an 8-inch charge. So we go with 8.
Sounds good. 7.
7. Okay.
Worth the reroll.
Don't have any CP. So that's absolutely fine there. These berserks into there, that's like a 3.
Yeah.
So that's a 6 there, so
nice.
they go in.
And Berserks and the bikes.
So I will go with the bikes. Need a 9. Not on a snake eyes, so that's fine. And then those berserks will go in. That's minimum amount.
7.
On a 7. Cool. So they are in. So what we'll do is we'll do fighting and things like that, and then come back with what's happened. Back after fighting, we have the berserks taken the Chimera out upside down. That's 2. 2 wounds. Did it do any damage to him? No. The berserks over here, they did. They killed the assassin.
Yep.
So I get assassinate and I get storm a hostile objective, which scores me quite nicely. So I'll get 8 on the turn. So we will come back with Agents of the Imperium coming next. Turn 5. Turn 5, final round for the Agents of the Imperium. We have Established Locust and we have Recover Assets. So lots of the actions. Little amount left for us all. So what we shall do is we'll just wrap up this turn as it is and then come back at the end. So we'll see you then, back after everything has happened for Agents of the Imperium. Right then.
Yep.
Back after everything, so we've cleared, basically, this Death Watch squad has cleared the Defender and the...
They did indeed. They were the
Berserk.
Yeah, the vehicle had the +1 to hit against it as well, so yeah.
Okay, so
tasty.
that's cleared. The Chimera had everything all disembark. However, the thingies, these things over here, the Ironkin, the Steeljacks, thank you, Ash, yeah. My brain's gone. Basically, they cleared all of that,
Yeah.
Inquisitor on his entourage. And then this Berserk was still in and did Honour the Hold, basically increasing the AP by 2, making it AP 4, making it an unsavable damage, which did a final 3 to take it away.
Yep.
You've actually, have we done your... So you would have got Establish, and what are you recovering?
Yes.
What are you doing with Recover?
So we are recovering with the Navigator at home, and then the Rogue Trader
right, so
in,
you would
in
have
the
got
middle.
those.
Yeah, and then we are establishing Locus in the middle with the separate Inquisitor.
So you would have scored 2... You would have scored 5 points on the turn, plus the 10. We come into Votann's turn now, the turn 5, so I'll be scoring at the end. So we have Cleanse and Establish Locus.
Nice.
Which I'll go up to 1 CP. We will quite nicely do that. And we will come back at the end and show you what's happened. So, back in a moment. At the end of it all, folks, effectively we've talked it all through. So would have been cleansing on that objective and this objective with the Jaegers. We've got that Berserk there that was poised to take off the Inquisitor's head, but wasn't needed. Because basically this amount of shooting, so from the Hecaton, from the Sagittar, and from the Steeljacks would have completely annihilated her, and it did. And those bikes went over there for Established Locust in the Ash's home. We've basically left all of them alone, but scores are on the screen now, 85-70 to the Agents. However, it was... I think at the end, Votann had a massive swing turn 5. If a bit more could have been done. I will be honest with you, I thought I was down and out bottom of turn 3. I thought that was it, but I've surprised even myself. And you've done extremely well, sir.
Thank you.
For playing all of that. And... for Beachhead, that will be absolutely atrocious for someone to play against. However, it's really good. So what we'll do is we'll come back with a post-game review and we'll go from there, all right? So, back in a minute. After it all, folks, 85-70 on a similar layout to Beachhead.
Yes.
For you. How did you? That's all right. How did you feel about that? How did you feel about the game, man?
Good. It was. It leaned into Imperial Agents' strength for the primary denial. I think I'm being cheeky, but what I found with it is that I need to come out quick. I need to score points quick because when you touch Imperial Agents, they die. I run out of units fast. So I need to score points fast, which I did today, which is good. I managed a big enough lead that I held on. One of the big things I looked at in this list was dropping the Grey Knights in favour for the Corvus. Obviously, we know flyers aren't particularly meta, aren't particularly great at the moment. You don't really see them about that much. But to be honest, I like it, adds another dimension. It's a great way to drop off the Death Watch exactly where I want them, which was really good at clearing this particular corner here. On the whole, yeah, really good. And I really liked as well the second thing I tried, which was the barbecue bus, having the 2 Inquisitors in the Chimera with all the extra flavors.
That was quite hard to do.
Yeah, I really quite enjoyed that unit. Even though it's low toughness, the dev wounds helped, and the amount of shots helps. So yeah, on the whole, I think that's my list sorted for Beachhead.
Good.
And yeah, we'll see how Beachhead goes. Obviously, you know, it's Imperial Agents, so I'm not aiming to win the thing, but
You never know.
yeah, you never know. Stranger things
Never
happen.
know. Stranger things have happened. So,
Yeah, the aim's one win. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you'll get that and more because I have every
Oh, thank
confidence in you. From the Votann side, it was at times very frustrating, I won't lie. Because one thing we said off camera, I am still learning about how to better use certain units. And I feel like the Hearthguard did that to a degree. I was able to clear off one objective, however you had enough to come around and try and deal with it and then take out the champion.
Yeah.
I potentially might be going back to Hearthband. I don't think I've played Hearthband on the channel, but I will go back to Hearthband because I feel Need Guard, obviously having the more utility with everything. I think I've got that in abundance with the units I have anyway, so bumping up the strength and everything I can do for the Hearthguard at least, I can better place them in different places and try and whittle them down.
Definitely.
A big swing in turn 5 really raised my spirits because I felt like I was down and out in turn 3. But it's a case of, we've had a chat, haven't we, and it's a case of I know now what to try. It's a case of trying to do that, trying to move forwards and try and create that bit of a block just in, you know, to try and give me that buffer so I can get out. Yes, the Hecaton did more or less stay in one place, I won't lie, but in my opinion and in my defence, as you all saw in the literally below the camp where you are, below the camera, is more or less where the lane is, and effectively I had enough of a lane to get enough on units so I can just shoot and kill them.
Definitely, and it was far enough away that my anti-tank couldn't get to it anyway, so it was perfectly safe the whole game.
So that's something to think about and maybe bring it out potentially. That's something I've found, because if a Hecaton's around, it's not good for the opponent. However, I do need to still score, and that's where the Jaegers and stuff like that will potentially go. So having to be able to move them, potentially what all I just need to do is I don't need to get out and move, maybe just to get out and disembark and just be a pain. Because especially with hidden supplies, we can see the table, so underneath obviously having them in a diagonal, so it runs past your left hand side, so it goes along that way. And with, if I was to play this again, I could have potentially put one carrier to go through that ruin and onto the one middle, have one on centre on another, and then basically have something like bikes and another thing come up here.
Yeah. It will certainly force me out a lot earlier, which means I would have lost units a lot earlier, and I wouldn't have racked up so much in score in the early turns. So definitely.
Okay, but lots to think about. Thank you all for watching and coming to the channel. One thing I will say, please, if you like it, please like and subscribe. And any comments underneath about anything anything I can think about doing differently in the past, in the future even, anything we can both think about, anything we can both put on the channel, because they're all really welcome comments, especially with, because we're fairly new at the moment, but more likes and comments and subscribes would be really helpful. And yeah, that's it from me.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.